insurance. First item of business is I will ask if this, because this is the very last day in this committee for anybody to introduce a bill. Are there any bill introductions today? Yes, come on up. Introduce yourself and welcome.
Thank you, Madam Chair and members of the committee. I'm John Polzar with the Kansas Trial Lawyers Association. And thanks to Revisor Mall, we have a new and improved RS number. And that is 25RS1007, relating to uninsured and underinsured motorist liability insurance.
Very good. Committee, do you have any questions? Any objections? Okay, thank you. It's introduced. Committee, are there any other bill introductions? Senator Francisco?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I have a bill introduction for a bill on a COLA, cost of living, and
Do you have an RS number?
I have an RS number. I think it's 0815, but I can, that's my, oh, okay. Well, if my computer would come up. Can we go with that, and I will.
We are going to tentatively say it's 0, what did you say? 815, and if it's different than that, you'll correct us before we adjourn.
I will correct you before you adjourn.
Thank you. Committee, any other bills for introduction? Revisor Ma?
Oh, please don't.
Eileen?
Thank you. Madam Chair, point of clarification, is Senator Francisco requesting on her own behalf or on behalf of someone else?
This would be a bill on my behalf and would request additional opportunity for additional sponsors. Yes.
Has to be a committee bill. Mm-hmm. Yep, has to be a committee bill.
That would be fine.
Yes. Yes, thank you for that. I forgot that. We are moving so fast. Thank you. Thank you very much. Anybody else with an introduction for bills in this committee? This is the last day. Okay. Going once, going twice? Gone. Okay.
Madam Chair, I just want to confirm that it is 25 RS 0815.
Thank you. All right, committee, I also want to call your attention. You were emailed minutes for our meetings on January 14th, 16th, 21, 22, and 23. Hopefully you had a chance to review those. And Jackie, did you have any emails from anybody that's an issue with any of them? Okay, then I would take a motion to approve those minutes for those meetings. Senator Gossage.
Madam Chair, after reading those minutes thoroughly, I would like to move that they be approved.
Thank you. Second? Senator Augerbright, seconds. Any conversation about them? Thank you for reading them. I read them as well. They're very well done. Thank you so much. Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Same sign. Very good. Thank you. Appreciate that. So today, committee, we're going to be working bills, and you have a list in front of you. We'll be doing Senate Bills 20, 24, 27, and 28. You'll find them in your folders, hopefully. So first up is Senate Bill 20. We'll ask the revisor to refresh us on that topic and that bill.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Senate Bill 20 was the bill that would request the number, reduce the number of board members appointed by the commissioner on those insurance-related boards, and then would also change the frequency of the meetings on the Committee of Surety Bonds and Insurance from monthly to on the call of the chair.
Thank you. Committee, do you have any questions of Eileen? If not, I'd entertain a motion if the committee so desires. Senator Gossage.
Madam Chair, I move that we pass out Senate Bill 20 favorably for passage.
Motion. Is there a second? Senator Rose, seconds. Any conversation or questions or discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. That will be sent out of the committee. Thank you. Senate Bill 24, Eileen, would you like to remind us of that bill?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. Senate Bill 24 is the bill that would authorize the Commissioner of Insurance to set the amount of certain fees and then publish that amount of the fee in the Kansas Register. And she would do that for all the statutes that are listed in the bill and on the brief that I provided by December 1st of each year for the next calendar year.
Thank you, Eileen. Any questions of the reviser? If not, what is the will of the committee on Senate Bill 24? Senator Gossage?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I think it's refreshing to have a commissioner who wants to have the authority to reduce fines. I, again, move that we pass Senate Bill 24 favorably for passage.
All right. Is there a second? Senator Cluse? Any discussion on that? All right. If not, all those in favor of passing out Senate Bill 24 favorably signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Bill passes. Thank you very much. We'll take that forward. Next is Senate Bill 27.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Senate Bill 27 is the bill that would eliminate the 2 reports that the Commissioner generates each year and submits to the governor. This bill would also amend the definition of person to remove those certain entities from it for the purposes of the enforcement statute for insurance law.
Any questions, committee, on Senate Bill 27? I'm sorry. Senator Francisco?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I don't have a question, but I do have an amendment.
Would you like to pass that out? Senator Francisco, do you want to describe your amendment, or do you want Eileen to do that for you? Seems pretty simple.
I think I can describe it. The request, as I understood it from the Commissioner of Insurance, was really to not be required to submit their annual report to the governor. They indicated that they would still be creating an annual report. This change would in fact require that the Commissioner of Insurance make an annual report, but do as they are already doing now, posting it on their department website and not being required. And this would eliminate or not replace that requirement that it has to go to the governor.
Questions, committee? Senator Gossage?
So it appears to me this basically neuters the bill. This was the purpose of the bill, right?
My understanding is that the purpose of the bill was to not have to submit the report to the governor. Mm-hmm. But I don't think the point was to not make an annual report. And in fact, the testimony was that they were planning to have an annual report and that it would be published on their website. I think it's helpful that we have a Commissioner of Insurance who's been there for a number of years, understands the rules, but it seems like we would want such annual report to be available. And I did have a chance to discuss this with the Insurance Commissioner herself, and I don't think there's any objections.
The questions? Senator Gossage?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Would it be okay if we could ask Eric to come up and talk about this? Thank you.
Eric, welcome to the podium. Introduce yourself, please.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the committee. Staff and the commissioner were able to speak with the ranking member on this amendment, and we have been producing an annual report for several years now. I'm not sure if that answered your question.
That does answer my question. Thank you.
Any other questions, committee? Senator Warren, did you have a question?
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. So the report that is being published currently, is that on the department's website? And this would just make sure that that practice continues? I guess that'd be a question for the carrier of the amendment.
Senator Francisco?
Thank you, Madam Chair. Yes, they indicated that that's what they're doing currently. In addition to giving the report to the governor, they're publishing it on their website.
And the statute would then ensure that that practice continues. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Any other questions? Okay, I take a motion on the amendment. All those in, or a motion, sorry, I'm jumping ahead.
Thank you, Madam.
Francisco,
Thank you, Madam Chair. I move my amendment.
second. Senator Fagg. Any other questions? All those in favor of the amendment say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, amendment will go on. Okay, so we are back on the bill, Senate Bill number 27. Senator Fagg.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. I'd move we pass out Senate Bill 27 favorably as amended.
As amended, thank you. Is there a second? Senator Augubright seconds. Any other conversation on this? Okay, if not, all those in favor say aye. Any opposed? Okay, thank you very much. The bill passes out as amended. All right, committee, moving right along, our last bill today is Senate Bill 28. Eileen, would you like to update us on that? Or refresh us, I guess not update, but refresh.
Actually, update too. Thank you, Madam Chair. Senate Bill 28 is the bill that would bring into parity the licensing statutes for the public adjuster and the insurance agent statute. Licensing statute. This is the bill that I did request to have the committee allow me to do a technical amendment, which I have prepared and which Jackie is going to pass out.
Okay, thank you.
And I will help.
Eileen, would you like to, just for those listening, tell us what your amendment does?
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. The insurance department is in the process of defining its days between calendar days and business days. This amendment on page 5 of the bill in line 25 just states that it would be something that would be potentially held against a license for failing to respond to an inquiry from the commissioner within 15 days. The amendment just simply clarifies that those would be business days.
Thank you. Committee questions? Senator Gossage.
Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you, Madam Chair. So, Eileen, this just kind of paired or makes it the same from page 2 and page 5, correct? So those are the same.
That would be correct.
All right. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Any other questions on this amendment for Senate Bill 28? Okay. All those in favor of the amendment say aye. Aye. What? Oh, I need a motion. Oh, I always forget the motion. I'm so sorry. Always feel free to correct me. I just
Madam
want
Chair,
everybody to vote.
just a question.
Motion.
Who's the carrier of the amendment?
Technical amendment.
Okay, well, I would say it's kind of policy because business means it's really actually about 3 weeks because it's 15 days, but with the weekends in there. So it's quite a different amount of time, but just a point of clarification. Thank you, Madam Chair, on who the carrier was. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm so sorry about skipping over motions. Do we have a motion in favor of the amendment? Senator Fagg.
Madam Chair, I had one more quick question. Sure. Kind of simple, but what's the definition of a business day? Is that Monday through Friday? Does that count Saturday? Exactly what that is.
Those would be weekdays unless there was a holiday on Monday through Friday.
Okay.
Does that answer the question for you, Senator Fagg?
Yep.
Okay. Motion on the amendment. Senator Gossage?
Yes, I move that we pass this amendment, basically because it just keeps parity within the legislation itself with page 2.
Thank you. Second? Senator Francisco? Any other questions or discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Amendment passes, and now we are back on the bill. Senate Bill 28, as amended. Do we have a motion? What's the will of the committee? Senator Gossage?
I move we pass Senate Bill 28 as amended favorably for passage.
Is there a second? Second. Senator Cluse, thank you. All righty. Any other discussion on that? Okay. All those in favor, oh, I'm sorry, Senator Warren.
Did we vote already? And I was just wanting to enter into further discussion. Okay.
We have not closed. Is there
Okay.
further discussion? We had a motion and a second.
There is,
there
yes,
discussion?
Madam Chair. And as I'm thinking, maybe some of these before we adjourn today would be eligible or appropriate, that is, for the consent calendar.
I think I would turn to the reviser for that. Some of these are a little, might require some further discussion, but Eileen, what are your thoughts on that?
Any of the bills that are being amended would not be eligible for the consent calendar. As for Senate Bill 20 and Senate Bill 24, those were just plain be passed motions. So either of them could be, those motions could be amended to be passed and placed on the consent calendar.
Committee, what are your thoughts? We have to go back and, we haven't voted on 28 yet, but my question is, procedurally, we'd have to go back and re-vote. How about going forward? We keep that into consideration.
Sure, just trying to ease the work of the chair and floor time as
appreciate
well for our chamber. Thank you.
If you all vote unanimously, the minute I stand up, we're good. All right, thank you. Thank you for that. Okay, so let's go back to Senate Bill 28. We have voted on the technical amendment. It's been approved. We're now voting on the bill. We had a motion and a second. Any more discussion on Senate Bill 28? Okay. All those in favor say aye. Oh, I'm sorry.
Did the motion include,
As amended.
oh, because it's amended, so.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, it did say as amended.
And it can't go on the,
Right, consent agenda, right, right. All those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, very good. Committee, I appreciate that. That will be brought forward, and we will think about those consent agenda items as we move forward. So good work today. Tomorrow, there are 2 interim committee reports that we'll be hearing, an interim joint committee on pensions, investments, and benefits, and then we have the special committee on PMIB modernization recommendations. And then we will plan on working, however much time we have, a few bills every day. And we will probably work 22, I'd say 21, 22, and 23 tomorrow. 21, 22, and 23. We're trying to take them in numerical order if possible. And of course, we've heard those bills, so if you need to go back and refresh your memory on those, you can do that. So anything we don't get work that was on the schedule, we'll just roll into the next day. So we'll just keep rolling it forward. And we do have hearings this week. So everything's in your calendar. Thank you so much. Meeting adjourned. Appreciate it.